So इस chapter का जो last topic है, which is the nervous tissue, we are going to start with that nervous tissue first. Okay. So nervous tissue, which tissue is this? सबसे पहले it is ectodermal in origin. ठीक है. There are three germ layers present in our, since we are triploplastic organisms, so there are three germ layers present in us: ectoderm, endoderm, and the mesoderm. So this nervous tissue, it arises from the ectoderm layer. Okay. Now this nervous tissue, what will it include? All the cells and all the structures which are associated with the brain and the spinal cord. And this is a very, very highly specialized tissue. Obviously, you know it because it is used for the conduction of the nerve impulses. Okay. And one thing which is also important, that the nervous tissue, it never divides. If anyone has any injury in his or her brain or the spinal cord, or if due to any other reason, that those cells, they are never going to regenerate. Okay, because these cells, or the cells of this nervous tissue, they actually never divide. Okay. Now what are the main components of this nervous tissue? The nervous tissue, it is made up of two types of cells. One is the neurons and the other is the glial cells. Okay. So majority to जो nervous tissue का component होता है, that is actually the glial cells. It comprises of about 75%, about approximately comprises 75% of the entire nervous tissue, and the rest portion बचता है 25%, that is actually the neurons. Okay. And I assume that you already know the basic structure of a neuron. You must have done it in your previous classes. So, what does a neuron look like? This is how it actually looks like. What is the basic structure, or what are the basic components of a neuron? It consists of a central portion which is known as the cyton or the cell body, and there are certain projections which can be seen arising from the ends of this cyton, and these projections, they are known as the dendrites. Okay. Now there is a single, so dendrites का जो number होता है, it can be multiple, but there's a single projection which is also arising from the cyton, and इसका there's only a single number, they cannot be multiple in number, and this is known as the axon. ठीक है. So you all know what are these basic structures. So dendrites क्या करते हैं? Dendrites जो भी, they take the message from the cyton or the cell body and then carry it towards the different parts of the body. ठीक है. And ये my axon के ऊपर there are certain these projections or these structures which are present, and these are actually known as this is known as the myelin sheath. Okay. This is known as the myelin sheath, and these are certain areas in between. What are these? These are nodes, are known as the nodes of Ranvier. ठीक है. अच्छा, one thing which you need to remember कि जिन neurons में, the neurons in which the myelin sheath is present, ठीक है, तो in all those neurons saltatory conduction takes place. So there's a saltatory conduction. So what is the meaning of saltatory conduction? Basically वैसे ये जो इसका एकदम डिटेल में है, we will do that in this nervous system वाला portion. यहाँ पे we are concerned with the tissue portion, so we'll do only whatever it is required here. ठीक है. अच्छा, तो इसमें what is saltatory conduction? Saltatory conduction is, it is actually the fastest conduction. Why is it the fastest conduction? Because of the presence of the myelin sheath. So what does this myelin sheath do? This myelin sheath is actually, what is it made up of? It is made up of proteins and some lipids. So what does this myelin sheath do? अब अगर किसी भी impulse को, if any impulse has to basically travel along this neuron, what will happen? So this, suppose here this myelin sheath conducts, sorry, the nerve impulse conduction starts here. So when it starts here, it directly jumps from this place to this place, because ये जो myelin sheath होती है, this myelin sheath is actually insulated in nature. No conduction can, or no current can pass through this myelin sheath actually. Okay. So how does it appear? That it appears that the impulse is jumping from one place to the other. So it gives us the appearance of like this. Okay. Why does it give this appearance? Because it is jumping from one node to the other. Because ये बीच में क्या है? This is the myelin sheath, and it doesn't allow the flow of the current. Okay. So it seems like the impulse is jumping from one node to the other, Therefore, the saltatory conduction is actually considered as the fastest conduction. Okay. Secondly, in those neurons in which this myelin sheath is absent, there the saltatory conduction does not take place, and obviously, because of the absence of the myelin sheath, the conduction is also comparatively slower. Okay. Now, one more thing that one more thing that this myelin sheath is actually covered on its outside. Myelin sheath के बाहर में there is something which is present. What do we call it? We call it as the, इसमें कुछ cells present होते हैं, इनको हम बोलते हैं, we call it as the Schwann cells. These are the Schwann cells. So, what is the purpose of Schwann cells? These Schwann cells are the cells which actually secrete the myelin sheath. So, myelin sheath कौन secrete कर रहा है? This myelin sheath is actually secreted by these Schwann cells. Okay. So this is the basic structure of a neuron. I'm not going to make you write down anything about the basic structure of a neuron because you already know it. Okay. So I've just drawn the diagram of a neuron. Now, second component of the nervous tissue is actually the glial cells, or which they are also known as the neuroglia. Okay. Now, these glial cells, what is the purpose of this glial cells? Basically, these glial cells, they form the matrix of the of this nervous tissue. So you can say basically that these glial cells help in keeping the neurons together at their own places. Okay, help in keeping them at a well-defined position. Okay. So these glial cells, there are actually of three types: the microglia, astroglia, and oligodendrocytes. Okay. So what do these microglia do? These microglia, they are actually phagocytic in nature. Okay. It is phagocytic in nature, which means if there's any neuron or if any other glial cell which is old now and it has to be removed out of from this nervous tissue. So these microglia, they're basically being phagocytic in nature, so they digest it and remove it from that nervous tissue. Okay. The second type of glial cells, they are actually astroglia. So these astroglia, they are actually star shaped, and what is their purpose? They have very long extensions and they help in holding the nerves and the blood together so that there's an exchange of substances between them. See, obviously, the nervous tissue also requires the blood supply. So these astroglia type of the glial cells, they help in establishing a connection between the nerves and the blood through their long extensions, जिसकी वजह से there can be an easy exchange of the substances between the two, which is the blood and the nerves. Okay. And the third type of the glial cells, they are actually the oligodendrocytes. And oligodendrocytes are, their basic function is secretion of myelin sheath. So what example will come under the oligodendrocytes? They will include Schwann cells, the Schwann cells which are making this myelin sheath, and these Schwann cells are basically a type of oligodendrocytes. Okay. So here this particular chapter is over, and इसके बाद में we will start a new fresh unit which is actually the plant physiology. ठीक है. So if anyone has any doubt in this chapter, you can ask me or you can ask me tomorrow whenever you feel like. So today we will start now with a new chapter which is the transport in plants. Anyone, any doubt? किसी को कोई problem है तो you can ask me. No problem? Oh, okay. So can I rub the board now? Okay. So next chapter is going to be the transport and plant. This is now this is a completely fresh unit. So the next unit is actually transport in plants. Okay. Now what is this all about? See, if we talk about us, that is, if we talk about animals, okay. So what do we require? we require digestion, matlab we require food for, and for that food has to be digested first. Okay, so when the food gets digested, now what is the job? The job is to transport that food to the required body parts. ठीक है, अब alimentary canal या intestine का job सिर्फ कितना है? The job of alimentary canal is to simply digest the food and absorb the food. Now, what is the job? There's a separate job assigned for transporting that absorbed food to the different parts of the body. मतलब different parts of the body means जहाँ पे भी उस food की requirement है, that absorbed food has to be transported. So, what is that transporting component which is present in animals? There is actually blood, or it can be lymph. Okay? So, blood and lymph are basically the two circulatory components which are present in animals. Okay, but if you talk about plants, what is there in plants? Plants में ऐसा क्या present है जिसके through they can transport their components? Neither they have any connective tissue, nor they have any component like blood or lymph जिसके through they can transport their various components to the different parts. So basically सबसे पहले तो what we need to understand, what are the various components which are essential in case of plants which should be transported from one place to the other. ठीक है, so what can be those various components? They can be actually they can be, see, सबसे basic तो it can be water. ठीक है, what needs to be transported can be water, then there are minerals, and then there is food. So these are the three main things which have to be transported in case of plants. अच्छा, अब ये जो transport है, अगर if it is for a shorter distance, for example, if we take the example of the smaller plants like the herbs and the shrubs, they are very small in size. So the transport in case of those such plants is not a tedious job because they don't have much height. So the transportation can be done comparatively very easy. Okay, but if we talk about certain plants which are very tall, like if they have a height of about say 120 meters, it becomes practically impossible without any conducting tissue जिसके through all these components can be transported to the different parts of the plant. ठीक है, so what do the सबसे पहले roots क्या करते हैं? Roots, they actually they absorb the minerals and the water from the soil. ठीक है, so plant क्या करेगा? सबसे पहले suppose if this is a suppose if this is a plant and these are the roots. ठीक है, so यहाँ से what is this plant doing? This is taking water from the soil. ठीक है, so this is the soil and this plant is taking water from the soil, absorbing it from the soil. Now this water travels up the tree trunk. Now it has to go and reach all the parts of the plant, even the topmost tip of the stem. ठीक है, wherever it is required. So this is the case with the water. But what about food? Food के केस में क्या होगा? Food is synthesized in the for organs like leaves. ठीक है, because leaves they are the photosynthesizing organs. So the food is synthesized in leaf and वहाँ पे जब food synthesized हो जाता है, then after that it has to be carried to the different parts. ठीक है, so on this basis we can say कि जो ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है वो दो टाइप्स का हो सकता है. इट कैन बी बेसिकली, सो इट कैन बी अ short distance transport, or it can be a long distance transport. Okay, so short distance transport में क्या, किस short distance transport का मतलब क्या होगा? Short distance transport means अगर एक सेल में से एक सेल टू सेल कॉन्टेक्ट विद इन अ सेल और बिटवीन टू सेल्स अगर ये ट्रांसपोर्ट होना है, तो दैट इज नोन एज द शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस ट्रांसपोर्ट. ठीक है, एंड इट अकर्स, हाउ डज इट अकर? इट अकर्स बाय डिफ्यूजन एंड साइटोप्लाज्मिक स्ट्रीमिंग. ठीक है, if you're talking about short distance transport in case of plants, so through that short distance transport, the transport can occur by the means of diffusion or the cytoplasmic streaming. But if we talk about the long distance transport के लिए what is essential? For long distance transport के लिए we require the vascular tissues. Again, what are the vascular tissues which are present in a plant? They include the xylem and phloem. Okay, so xylem किस में help करेगा? Xylem helps in conduction of water and minerals. Okay, so and this phloem will help in conduction of food. ठीक है, so now this transport of various components like water, minerals and food through over long distances, this mechanism is known as translocation. Okay, so this transport is known as translocation. Okay, so what is translocation? It can be asked in a 1 mark question. What is translocation? Translocation is basically the transport of water, minerals and food over long distances is known as translocation. Okay, so this is the basic introductory. Yes. Insoluble substances, basically insoluble substances, this translocation, अभी तो आप जब बाद में चैप्टर के एंड में भी जाओगे तो उसमें what will happen, एंड बाय सॉरी उसमें जब एंड में जब सोर्स एंड सिंक वाला कंपोनेंट आएगा तो उसमें यू विल सी कि द फूड इज बीइंग ट्रांसपोर्टेड फ्रॉम द सोर्स रीजन टू द सिंक, एंड उसमें क्या होता है कि सोर्स जो होगा लीफ होगा एंड सिंक विल बी दैट रीजन जहाँ पे द फूड इज रिक्वायर्ड. ठीक है, सो ट्रांसलोकेशन इज बेस, ट्रांसलोकेशन मतलब किसी भी चीज कंपोनेंट का ट्रांसपोर्ट होना एक जगह से दूसरे जगह पे. ठीक है, सो ट्रांसलोकेशन बेसिकली प्लांट्स के अंदर the translocation word is used for the transport of the components. अगर वो long distance पे transport होना है, and अगर short distance पे होना है तो उसको हम we do not, basically वो भी एक type का translocation है but उसको हम translocation as such नहीं बोलते. but अगर वो long distances पे होना है that is known as translocation. उसमें as such that there is nothing, आपके NCERT में there is nothing mentioned as such कि जो insoluble components होंगे उनको we call it as the translocation. ठीक है, so you basically have to go according to your NCERT, and वैसे भी NCERT में this is right. Translocation means simply the transport of any component from one particular location to the other. Okay, so this is basically the introductory part. Now we start with a fresh topic. Basically the first topic in this chapter, which is the means of transport. And you have already studied this topic, so you guys are going to tell me. Okay, so we'll start with the means of transport. So the means of transport, it can be of two types. What are the two types? One is passive and the other is active. Danish, why did you join so late today? Danish, sorry. Acha, okay. So what are the means of transport? There are two types. One is the passive transport and the other is the active transport. Okay. So can you tell me what is this passive transport and what is this active transport? Anyone? Can you tell me the difference between what is the passive transport and what is the active transport? We have already done these types of transport. Danish, what is the difference between the two, passive transport and the active transport? किस किसका पता है? हाँ बोलो. हाँ बताओ बताओ, एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट बताओ. Movement of molecules. अक्रॉस है सेल मेम्ब्रेन, तो बच्चे ये तो दोनों में ही यही होता है, मॉलिक्यूल सेल मेम्ब्रेन के ही अक्रॉस तो मूव करेंगे, किसके अक्रॉस मूव करेंगे? सो हाउ डज इट डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन द पैसिव एंड एक्टिव? जी हाँ। हाँ, मुझे तुम बोलो। इसमें there is no enzyme requirement. You just tell me the basic difference between what is the passive transport and what is active transport. There's no requirement of enzymes. अच्छा, अच्छा, and in active, किसमें? पैसिव में? लो टू हाई किसमें मूव करेंगे? हाई टू लो किसमें करेंगे? पैसिव में या एक्टिव में? अच्छा, और पैसिव में हाई टू लो, तो एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट किसमें होगी? Exactly. So what is the basic difference between passive transport and active transport? So this passive, अरे इसमें you don't have to get confused, इसमें confusion का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है। passive मतलब वो खुद से, passive means कि वो एकदम spontaneously खुद ही हो जाता है। There is no requirement of any additional factor from the outside जिसकी वजह से the transport can take place. And active means something has to be there जो उसको transport कर सके. So basic, on the basic definition of the words, you need not get confused between the two terms. So passive transport mein what happens, it occurs without the expenditure of energy. So it occurs without the expenditure of energy. ठीक है? So active में क्या होगा? It is, मतलब it requires energy, so you can write down that is the ATP is required. ठीक है? और क्या होगा? It occurs from high concentration to low concentration. ठीक है? And active transport में it can occur against the concentration gradient. Okay, so these are the two basic differences. What is passive transport? So passive transport is the movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration without the expenditure of energy. So that is the passive transport, and active transport means the transport of the molecules against the concentration gradient. That is from a concentration of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. So since it is occurring against the concentration gradient, so it requires energy for that, and hence ATP will be utilized in this process. Okay. So अगर suppose if we take an example, if this is a membrane, ठीक है, and if there are total 100 molecules on one side of a membrane, ठीक है, so only 50% molecules will be transported. अगर passive transport की अगर हम बात कर रही हूँ तो मैं, if I'm talking about passive transport, so suppose if the 100 molecules are present on this particular side and if passive transport has to take place, only the 50 molecules will be transported from one end to the other, because this universe actually believes in law of equilibrium. ठीक है, and since इसमें कोई energy use नहीं हो रही है, so the transport of molecules will take place until it balances to 50 molecules on the outer side and 50 molecules on the inner side. बात समझ में आ रही है? अगर, but if on the other hand, if I'm talking about the active transport, ठीक है, एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट की बात कर रही हूँ, तो सपोज अगर बाहर, इफ इट इज सपोज से आउटसाइड इट इज 20 मॉलिक्यूल्स and inside suppose it is 80 molecules, so the transport can occur from this outer side to the inner side also, ठीक है, because इसमें energy is required. Now इसमें the universe law of equilibrium will not be applicable because इसमें we are using the energy, we are basically using something from the outside, but इसमें ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. You were not putting anything from the outside, so the molecule and the molecules, they were basically moving on their own on the basis of their concentration gradient. Okay, so this passive transport में eventually क्या होगा कि कोई भी मॉलिक्यूल्स कहाँ से मूव करेंगे, फ्रॉम अ रीजन ऑफ हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टू अ रीजन ऑफ लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टिल द टाइम इट रीचेज इक्विलिब्रियम. मतलब कि ये जब तक मूवमेंट कंटिन्यूड रहेगा, जब तक यहाँ पे भी 50 मॉलिक्यूल्स नहीं हो जाएंगे, यहाँ पे भी 50 मॉलिक्यूल्स नहीं हो जाएंगे, ठीक है. एंड इसमें इफ यू टॉक अबाउट एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट, देयर इज नो बार टू दिस. अगर यहाँ पे 10 मॉलिक्यूल्स भी होंगे बाहर में एंड इफ यहाँ पे 90 मॉलिक्यूल्स भी होंगे तो भी द ट्रांसपोर्ट कैन अकर because the energy is used in this particular process. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the various types. So firstly we'll talk about the passive transport, and passive transport with the first process which comes up is actually diffusion. Okay, so you can take the screenshot now and we will start with the diffusion process. Done. Do not ever get confused between the two terms, passive and active transport. इसमें learn करने वाला कुछ नहीं है. Passive means molecules, they will move on their own on the basis of their concentration gradient, that is from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. ठीक है, तो अगर if I start with passive transport से हम starting, इसमें first जो component आता है that is actually diffusion. Can any one of you define what is diffusion? डिफ्यूजन को डिफाइन कर सकते हो? बस इतना ही या और भी कुछ? क्या दो टाइप के होते हैं बच्चे? वो एक सेपरेट टॉपिक है, दैट इज अ सेपरेट थिंग है. हाइपरटोनिक हाइपोटोनिक इसमें नहीं आता है. हम अभी तो हम करंटली हम जस्ट ओनली एंड ओनली आस्किंग अबाउट द डेफिनेशन. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग वेदर योर डेफिनेशन इज कंप्लीट और यू स्टिल नीड टू ऐड समथिंग. मतलब if you am asking you to define diffusion, will you simply write movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration? Would that be enough? अभी जस्ट आई टोल्ड यू पैसिव ट्रांसपोर्ट, डिफ्यूजन इज अ पैसिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. अभी आप खुद बोल रहे हैं कि दैट इज द मॉलिक्यूल्स दे आर मूविंग फ्रॉम अ हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टू अ लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. तो अब जब उसमें तो यू नीड टू एड द पॉइंट ऑफ एनर्जी ऑल्सो ना, वेदर द एनर्जी इज रिक्वायर्ड हियर और नॉट. डिफ्यूजन में एनर्जी चाहिएगा कि नहीं चाहिएगा बताओ? डिफ्यूजन में क्यों एनर्जी चाहिएगा? जब हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन से लो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन पे मूव कर रहे हैं ना बच्चे, तो जब अपने आप ही मूव कर रहे हैं तो एनर्जी की क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है? ठीक है, डिफरेंस क्लियर हो रहा है? डिफ्यूजन में क्या होगा? द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स. सॉल्यूट एंड सॉल्वेंट का तो डिफरेंस पता होगा. व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूट एंड व्हाट इज द सॉल्वेंट? सो द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स फ्रॉम रीजन ऑफ हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टू from region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration till the equilibrium is reached, till the equilibrium is achieved. ठीक है, and it is actually a पैसिव प्रोसेस. ठीक है, सो अगर आप पैसिव टर्म भी यूज करते हैं, इफ यू राइट डाउन it doesn't require energy, they both mean the same thing. ठीक है, so passive process means the molecules, they will move on their own. ठीक है, so best example of diffusion का कैसे, how can you understand this? Suppose if you go into room and if you take an incense stick and you burn that incense stick and keep it in one corner of the room. ठीक है, so after some time what is going to happen? Initially तो जो smell है, you can only feel it in only in that particular corner of the room. But after some time, when you enter that room, you will find the smell everywhere in the room. Okay? Why is it so? Because the gaseous molecules or the incense stick gaseous molecules, they diffuse from that particular corner to the entire room. Okay? So why has it taken place? Has taken place because of the mechanism of the diffusion. Okay? So the gaseous molecules, they diffused from the region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Okay. Now we'll talk about the factors affecting the rate of diffusion. The factors affecting rate of diffusion. Okay. So what is the first factor? First factor is actually temperature. Can you tell me temperature का क्या effect होगा? हाँ तो diffusion fast होएगा या slow होएगा? फास्ट होएगा एग्जैक्टली विद इंक्रीज इन टेम्परेचर डिफ्यूजन रेट इंक्रीजेस फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप घर में इफ योर अगर सपोज आपके नेबर में ही किसी ने समवन हैज कुक्ड अप समथिंग वेरी डिलिशियस तो ऑब्वियसली आफ्टर सम टाइम यू कैन स्मेल इट ठीक है व्हाई इज इट सो बिकॉज ऑल्दो दे आर कुकिंग मतलब जो उन्होंने बनाया दे आर एट अ डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम यू बट यू स्टिल कैन स्मेल इट व्हाई इज इट बिकॉज जो फूड है दैट इज हॉट इन नेचर एंड because of the high temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules increases and hence the rate of diffusion is actually faster. So how do I write it? Higher the temperature, higher the rate of diffusion. So higher the temperature, higher the rate of diffusion. Okay, so this is the first factor which is temperature. Acha, now second is the density of the substance getting diffused. Density of the substance getting diffused. इसका बता सकते हो कि किस पे डिपेंड करेगा this factor it follows the Graham's law of diffusion. So what does the Graham's law of diffusion say? So according to Graham's law of diffusion, the diffusion is actually inversely proportional to the square root of the density of the substance getting diffused. So what does it mean? So heavier the particle or heavier, denser the particle is, lesser the distance it will travel. बात समझ में आ रही है? Since it is inversely proportional, तो जितना denser, जितनी ज्यादा density होगी substance की, it will take lesser it will take more time to travel ठीक है so more the density and it decreases the rate of diffusion ठीक है so this law is known as the actually Graham's law of diffusion ठीक है जो third factor आता है that is the concentration gradient तो concentration gradient पे कैसे depend करेगा more the concentration more faster the diffusion is so greater the concentration, greater the rate of diffusion. ठीक है अच्छा फोर्थ पॉइंट जो है इट इज एक्चुअली द सरफेस सरफेस एरिया पे कैसे डिपेंड करेगा ऑब्वियसली ये भी डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल है मोर द सरफेस एरिया more faster the diffusion ठीक है, सो ये भी डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल है टू सरफेस एरिया। अच्छा, इसका एग्जाम्पल मुझे बता सकते हो? एग्जाम्पल हम जैसे ले सकते हैं एल्वियोलाई। Alveoli in our lungs, what are they? They are actually known as the miniature lungs, and these alveoli, they are balloon shaped structures, and they increase the surface of the lungs, surface area of the lungs to many folds. Okay, and why is it this purpose? This, why is it done to increase the surface area for the exchange of gases? इसके लिए सबका रीजन क्या है कि जितना ज्यादा सरफेस एरिया होगा उतना ज्यादा एरिया मिलेगा फॉर द बेटर एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस। ठीक है, सो दिस इज द फोर्थ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक। अच्छा, एक और आपका एनसीईआरटी में मेंशन है, इफ द पार्टिकल्स दे आर लिपिड सॉल्यूबल दे विल डिफ्यूज फास्टर। इफ द पार्टिकल इज लिपिड सॉल्यूबल it will diffuse faster. So can you give me the reason why if the particle will diffuse faster if it is lipid soluble? Can you tell me the reason? Mudit, can you tell me the reason why the particle will diffuse faster if it is lipid soluble? बताओ, जितना पता है उतना बताओ। बोलो बोलो, जल्दी बोलो। जी हाँ, why is it so? If the particle is lipid soluble, why will it diffuse faster? बहुत ही बेसिक रीजन है, यू ऑलरेडी नो दिस। बताओ, बोलो बोलो, जल्दी बोलो, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर यू। तो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन किसका बना होता है? Exactly. Very good. So the plasma membrane is actually made up of phospholipid bilayer. तो अगर कोई molecule if it will be hydrophilic तो it will be very much difficult for it to get transported. ठीक है, but अगर if it is lipid soluble तो it can easily pass through that because जो lipid bilayer होती है वो कैसी होती है? It is actually amphipathic in nature, मतलब कि it has a head region and a tail region. ठीक है, तो जो हेड होता है वो तो क्या होता है? इट इज एक्चुअली हाइड्रोफोबिक वेयर एज दिस टेल रीजन इज हाइड्रोफिलिक। ठीक है, तो अगर कोई भी मॉलिक्यूल है इफ इट हैज टू पास थ्रू दिस प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन एंड अगर that molecule is lipid soluble so it can easily pass through the plasma membrane. Okay, so the reason is very basic because the plasma membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer and if any molecule it is actually lipid soluble so it can easily pass through that. Okay, so this was the first type of diffusion which is known as the first type of transport which is the diffusion. Okay, now the next type इसमें जो next आता है that is the
facilitated